Hello everyone, welcome to my channel B&B CBS Gossip 24. Remy visits Luna in prison, gets a Will Spencer warning. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Remy Price will visit Luna Nozawa in prison and get a Will Spencer warning. Now that Luna is stuck behind bars, she's alone and could really use a friend. Likewise, Remy doesn't exactly have a long line of people waiting to be his buddy. Deke Sharp would be furious if he knew Remy was sneaking behind his back to see Luna. But it's not like Remy has anyone else to talk to about his problems. Since Remy's nervous about Deke's upcoming boyfriend reveal, he'll decide to open up to Luna about the situation. Deke will want to bring Remy to Forrester Creations and introduce him around, but Remy will realize his past mistakes could come back to haunt him. Despite Remy's concerns, he'll apparently hold out hope that maybe Elektra Forrester can forgive him and convince the others at Forrester to do the same. Luna will feel like that's wishful thinking, but Remy will argue that she doesn't know what his former relationship with Elektra was like. Elektra used to consider Remy a close pal that she could rely on, at least until he was exposed as a disturbing stalker who created deepfake content and blew up her life. Nevertheless, Remy may hope that Elektra will remember their previous bond now that he's trying to turn his life around. Of course, Remy isn't doing a very good job of that since he's keeping secrets from Deke and going against his wishes to visit criminal Luna. That said, it seems Remy will try to believe it'll all work out. Luna, on the other hand, will warn Remy that he's walking straight into the lion's den, especially if Will's going to be there. Remy will get a rather vengeful look in his eyes and insist he's not afraid of Will, so his sinister side could come back out to play at some point. Will previously saved Elektra from Remy following a dramatic chase, so he stepped up as her hero. Naturally, Luna may worry about Remy stirring up trouble and giving Will another chance to be Elektra's knight in shining armor. The last thing Luna wants is for Remy to bring Elektra and Will closer, so she may deliver a warning about that, too. Regardless, Remy will go against Luna's advice and indeed walk into the lion's den in BNB's October 31st episode. It'll be a horrific Halloween for Remy since Elektra's going to flip out and give Deke updates on some disturbing news about his beau. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Ivy Forrester, Daphne Rose and Hope Logan will also be present for the disaster that's about to unfold, so stay tuned. Where Will stands now. When we last saw Will Spencer, Bill and Katie's son, he was the brilliant, slightly restless young man torn between his father's empire and his mother's grounded morality. Having been raised between two wildly different worlds, Dollar Bill's ruthless business savvy and Katie's emotional warmth, Will's recent storylines have shown a more introspective side. He's matured, yes, but maturity doesn't automatically mean readiness. Will has ambition, drive, and intelligence, but fatherhood on the bold and the beautiful isn't about stability, it's about heart. And Will, for all his confidence, still carries the fear of turning into his father. Bill's shadow looms large. Every Spencer man faces this moment, the question of legacy. Bill Spencer has built an empire, but at what cost? He's been a hands-on dad in flashes but an absent one in others, and Will has noticed. That awareness shapes his hesitation. Will, to Katie, in a recent hypothetical scene. I watch Dad love power more than peace. What if I'm wired the same way? That line sums up Will's internal conflict. A young man who wants to build a future but fears inheriting the worst of his father's instincts. Romantic turbulence and fear of repetition. In potential storylines being teased, Will could soon face fatherhood after a complicated romance with a woman tied to the Forrester or Logan families. Fans have speculated about Elektra Forrester or even a new character introduced through the fashion world. If she becomes pregnant, the emotional question shifts. Does Will want to be part of the child's life? Or does he feel trapped by his own lineage? A strong narrative choice for B&B would mirror past arcs, Hope's conflicted motherhood, Liam's indecision, and Thomas's obsessive loyalty. For Will, the angle would be fear. Not irresponsibility, fear of failing the way he's seen others fail. Katie's influence, the voice of compassion. Katie Logan remains Will's moral compass. Viewers know Katie's emotional intelligence and fierce protectiveness could guide him through that crisis. She'd remind him that being present, even imperfectly, is better than retreating. Katie, you can't undo what your father did, but you can start a new chapter. Your child doesn't need perfection, Will. Just love that shows up. That would be classic B&B writing, simple truth delivered with heart. Bill's reaction, the wild card. If Will becomes a father, expect Bill Spencer's reaction to be explosive. Bill would likely project his own regrets onto Will, trying to shape him into a better version of himself. It could reignite the old Bill-Katie tension, her desire to protect their son's heart versus Bill's instinct to harden him. A clash like that is inevitable, and perfect for a Spencer Forrester crossover week. So, is Will ready? Emotionally? Not yet. But narratively? Absolutely. Will's arc has all the ingredients for a compelling next-generation story: vulnerability, legacy, and the universal soap truth that love and fear often share the same heartbeat. He may not believe he's ready to be part of his child's life, but that hesitation is what makes him a Spencer: complex, conflicted, and destined for growth. Katie's living room, night. The lights are low. A soft rain taps the windows. Katie sits on the sofa with a cup of tea. Will stands by the fireplace, shoulders tense, staring into the flames. Katie. You've been pacing for 20 minutes, Will. If this is about the company, it can wait until morning. Will. It's not about the company. It's bigger. He turns, nervous smile flickering. Will. Mom, what if I'm not meant to be a father? Katie sets the cup down, heart already in her eyes. Katie. Where's this coming from? Will. Every time I think about it, I see Dad. The ambition, the mistakes, the wreckage he leaves when he's trying to protect what's his. What if that's in me too? Katie rises, crosses to him. Katie. You are not your father's mistakes. You're his hope. And mine. Will. That sounds like something you're supposed to say. Katie. It's something I believe. Look, your dad loves hard. He just never learned how to stay still long enough to let people love him back. You already know how. Will looks down, his composure slipping. Will. She's scared, Mom. And I'm no better. What if I fail her? What if I fail the baby before it even knows who I am? Katie. Then you learn. And you show up again. That's all a parent can do. Beat. Will nods, eyes wet. Will. I keep thinking about the day you told me Dad left. You didn't cry. You just said, we'll be okay. How did you know? Katie. Because I had you. And I trusted that love was stronger than fear. You have that same strength, Will. Don't let fear convince you it's weakness. Will exhales, a shaky laugh breaking through. Will. You always know what to say. You should write greeting cards for broken people. Katie. Only if you promise to buy them. They share a quiet laugh. Katie rests a hand on his cheek. Katie. You'll be a good father, Will. Because you care enough to ask if you can be. The moment lingers. Will pulls her into a hug, long, genuine. Will. Thanks, Mom. Katie. Always, sweetheart. Camera pans to the rain streaking down the window, Will's reflection overlapping with Bill's framed photo on the mantel. The contrast between past and future glows in the firelight. Bill. Yeah, move the board meeting to Friday. I've got family matters. Yeah, even I have those. He hangs up just as the office door opens. Will stands in the doorway, hesitant. Bill. Speak of the devil, and here's my favorite investment. What brings you to my empire after hours? Will. Can we talk? It's important. Bill studies his son's serious face and gestures toward the sofa. Bill. You're not quitting school, are you? Because I'm already funding enough lost causes. Will. No. It's not about school. He sits, wringing his hands. Bill senses something and softens his tone. Bill. All right, son. No jokes. What's going on? Will. I found out a few days ago. She's pregnant. Bill stills. His trademark smirk fades. Bill. You're sure? Will. Yeah. And I don't know if I can do this. Be that guy. Be a dad. Bill leans forward, elbows on his knees. Bill. You came to the right person for a crash course in mistakes. Will. That's what scares me. Bill. Ah. You think the Spencer gene automatically ruins people. Will. Doesn't it? Bill stands, pacing slowly, eyes on the city. Bill. I spent half my life trying to build walls so no one could see the parts of me that actually cared. And the other half pretending those walls made me strong. But you, your mother, proved me wrong every day. Will. That doesn't erase the mess, Dad. Bill. No. But it means you learn from it. That's what being a Spencer really is, learning how not to repeat your old man's sins. Will looks up, eyes bright with doubt. Will. I don't even know what kind of father I want to be. Bill. The kind that shows up. That's more than most. Bill sits beside him now, voice quieter. Bill. You'll hold that kid for the first time, and everything else, business, fear, ego, goes right out the window. Trust me. It hits like a freight train. Will. You're saying you weren't scared? Bill. Terrified. Still am. Every time I see you, I wonder how I didn't mess it up worse. Beat. Will almost smiles. Will. That's the most human thing you've ever said. Bill. Don't tell anyone. I've got a reputation. They share a small laugh that feels earned. Will. I don't want to hide this from Mom. Bill. Then don't. She's the best person you've got in your corner. Just give her the good version of the story before the bad one leaks. We're Spencers, news travels fast. Bill reaches into his desk drawer, pulls out a small keepsake box, and hands it to Will. Will. What's this? Bill. Your first rattle. Katie kept it, of course, but I held on to it when she wasn't looking. Beat. Remind yourself where you started before you decide what kind of man you're gonna be next. Will turns it in his hands, quiet. Will. Thanks, Dad. For once, you didn't try to fix it. Bill. Don't get used to it. They share a long look, the distance between them smaller than it's been in years. Will exits, the box still in his hand. Bill watches him go, pride mixing with fear. The city lights flicker across his face. Bill. Another Spencer about to learn how hard love really hits. He opens his phone, scrolling to Katie's number, but hesitates. Bill. Not yet. He closes the phone, looks out over Los Angeles. Katie. It's open. Bill steps in, impeccably dressed, coffee in hand, a little too confident. Katie. You're up early. That's rarely good news. Bill. Depends on your definition of good. He sets the coffee on the table, unsure how to start. Katie. Bill, if this is about Spencer Publications, I told you. Bill. It's not business. It's Will. Katie's shoulders straighten. Maternal alarm bells. Katie. What about him? Is he okay? Bill. He's fine. Physically. Just dealing with something big. He takes a breath, softer now. Bill. He told me last night, his girlfriend's pregnant. Katie freezes. The watering can trembles in her hand. Katie. Pregnant? Oh my God. Bill. I know. He's scared, Kate. He didn't want me to tell you yet, but... Katie. You told me anyway. Of course you did. She sets the can down, pacing. Katie. You promised him privacy, didn't you? Bill. He needed me to help him figure things out. Katie. He needed you to listen, Bill. Not run to me behind his back. Her words sting. Bill doesn't fight them. Bill. He's terrified he'll turn into me. Can you blame him? Katie softens slightly. Katie. No. But you just made it harder for him to trust you. Bill. I was trying to protect him, and you. I thought you should be prepared. Katie. Prepared for what? To watch my son make adult choices? He has to learn how to stand on his own, Bill. You can't keep controlling everything that scares you. Bill's bravado cracks. He sits heavily. Bill. You think I don't know that? I just didn't want him facing it alone. Katie kneels across from him, calmer now. Katie. He's not alone. He has both of us. But if we make this about our guilt or our egos, he'll shut us out. Is that what you want? Bill. Of course not. Katie. Then let me talk to him, gently. My way. Beat. Bill nods, reluctantly. Bill. Fine. But he deserves to hear I'm proud of him, too. Katie. You can tell him that, after he knows I didn't find out from you. Her tone is light but firm, the Logan strength that once drew him in. Bill. You're still the conscience of this family. Katie. And you're still the impulse. Between us, maybe Will's got a chance. They share a faint smile. It's the closest they've been in months. Bill turns to leave. Katie follows him out. The morning light feels almost forgiving. Bill. For what it's worth, you handled that better than I did. Katie. I usually do. They laugh quietly. Then Katie's face grows serious again. Katie. Bill, if we turn this into a fight about who tells who, we'll lose him. Let's get it right this time. Bill. Agreed. Just, be kind when you talk to him. He's trying. Katie. He's your son. Trying is in his DNA. Bill nods, heading to his car. Katie watches him go, conflicted, love, frustration, pride all mixed together. Katie sits with her phone, staring at Will's contact. She almost calls, then stops. A new text pops up. Will, can we talk tonight? There's something I need to tell you before Dad does. Katie sighs, murmuring to herself. Katie. Too late, sweetheart. She sets the phone down, gazes out the window, lost in thought. Tag cliffhanger. Cut to Bill in his car, parked down the street. He watches Katie through the windshield, guilt etched across his face. He lifts his phone, scrolling through his contacts until he stops on one name, Brooke Logan. He mutters. Bill. What's one more bad decision between old friends? He presses call. The screen glows as the line connects. Katie's voice drifts faintly through her open window, unaware of what's coming. Katie. Come in. Will steps in, hands shoved into his pockets. His face says he already suspects what's coming. Will. Mom, we need to talk. Katie. Yes, we do. Sit. He hesitates, then takes the sofa. She sits opposite, trying to look calm. Katie. Before you say anything, I want you to know, whatever it is, you're not alone. Will. You already know, don't you? Katie sighs. The truth between them fills the silence. Katie. Your father told me. Will. Figures. He can't help himself. Katie. He was worried. Will. He was controlling. It's what he does when he's scared. Katie. And you're not? Will looks down, voice breaking a little. Will. I'm terrified, Mom. She's barely 2 months along, and we haven't even said the word baby out loud. I can't even say it without shaking. Katie. That's normal. Will. It's not normal for a Spencer. Katie. Maybe that's the best news of all. He looks up, startled by her gentleness. Katie. You don't have to do this the way your father did. Or anyone before him. You get to decide what kind of man, and what kind of father, you'll be. Will's eyes fill. Will. What if I'm not enough? Katie. You already are. Because you care. That's the difference. She reaches across, squeezes his hand. Katie. You don't have to have all the answers tonight. Just promise me one thing, don't run from this. From her. Or from yourself. He nods, swallowing emotion. Will. I won't. Bill's office glows under city lights. He's finishing a call when the door opens without warning. Bill. Brooke. I didn't realize. Brooke Logan. You never do, until the fallout lands in your lap. She strides in, composed but clearly upset. Brooke. Katie just called me. She said you told her about Will's situation before he was ready. Why, Bill? Bill. Because she's his mother. She needed to know. Brooke. You decided that for him. You keep doing this, taking choices away from people and calling it love. Bill. You think I don't remember how it feels to be blindsided? I was trying to protect them. Brooke. You always say that, but somehow you're the one left holding the moral high ground while everyone else is bleeding. He exhales, a flicker of guilt crossing his face. Bill. You don't understand. He came to me. He asked for help. And all I could see was the scared kid I used to be, the one who didn't have anyone to turn to. Brooke. And instead of helping him grow, you made the same choice you always make, control the narrative. She steps closer, eyes softening. Brooke. You can't love people by managing them, Bill. You have to let them live. Even if it scares you. Bill's facade finally cracks. He whispers. Bill. I just didn't want him to hate me. Brooke. Then show him the version of you that deserves to be loved. Not the one you hide behind a suit and a slogan. They share a long, quiet look, old affection under new disappointment. Katie and Will sit together again, the air between them lighter now. Will. You know what's weird? For the first time, I get why you and Dad never really worked. You wanted peace, and he needs a war to feel alive. Katie. And what do you need? Will. A fresh start. With her. With myself. Katie. Then that's your choice, sweetheart. Not his. Not even mine. She smiles faintly, brushing a tear from his cheek. Katie. Go tell her how you feel. Start this chapter the way you want your child to remember it. Will. You really think I can do this? Katie. You already are. Look at you, you're here, talking about it. That's more courage than most adults I know. He stands, hugs her tightly. Will. Thanks, Mom. For not freaking out. Katie. Oh, I'm freaking out plenty. I just hide it better than your father. They laugh softly. He heads for the door. Katie. Will. He turns. Katie. You're going to be a wonderful dad. Will. I'll try to be a good one first. He leaves. Katie exhales deeply, half smiling, half crying.